Alright. This is another devlog on Garfield RPG Devlog, episode number 3. It's been like half a year since the last one, so apologies for that, but you know, I'm just one guy. But yeah, not much has changed because, well, small project, small stuff, right? But there is a few things I wanted to showcase, one of which is actually a little scrap thing, but just so you know that time was spent on something, right? It was me together with Lumpy Torch. I basically had an idea for a little feature. I tried to implement it, and I got some help with him to do some graphics and whatnot. Now, the problem with this is that it was horribly optimized because of how Game Maker Studio and just how I implemented it in it. So this is like semi 3D, but nothing is actually 3D. And the problem with this is it ran on the CPU rather than the graphics card, which, if you know anything about computer graphics, rendering a shit ton of graphics on the CPU is not ideal. And there's just like a plethora of bugs, and if I tried to add a lot of stuff, it would like easily break. But just for the sake of it, let's like showcase some stuff here. So I'm gonna open it up. And let's add in, I'm gonna keep this in case I can, what you call it, add like maybe an Easter egg, or just like very short side game. But there was some stuff here, and you can see all these like really actually great sprites and textures was made by Lumpy Torch. You can follow him on Twitter, see his YouTube channel here. But we had like a little side project idea to make like a game for Halloween, and I worked on it sparingly, and then like that didn't turn out to be anything, so we figured, okay, maybe we'll make it a bit after the year's over, but even that was like, took too long. Yeah, there was some stuff here. I have some other old GIFs up about this, like the process of it. I spent a lot of time, but ultimately I realized that it was like futile because of how I implemented it. Because it's all on the CPU and it's like not optimized at all for video game. Maybe in the future I'll revisit this and utilize Game Maker Studio's shaders, because that's how it should have been done if I did this, but the reality of it is making a 3D game inside a 2D engine in 2021 is just actually not a good idea when you think about it. Unless it's just like for the fun of it, which it was, but that was the consequence of it. But other than scrap projects, there's some stuff that actually did work. At least partly, even though it's not completely done yet. So let's look at this. One thing I wanted to showcase was cutscenes or choreography. So, in the sense that it's not really cutscenes, because like a cutscene in my head would be that a video file plays, but this is all quote-unquote in-engine with how I code of it, and maybe I can make a little example of how it works in a second. Speedy, he blocks your path. And excuse the music, because it's not fitting the situation at all, but I'll add that in later. So the idea is that he's a little starter enemy that'll teach you the base mechanics of the rhythm game, and Nermal will tutorial through it. I haven't added his lines inside the battle yet, but here he is. Hey look, Garfield, an insignificant, worthless mini-boss. That wasn't very nice. I'll have you eat those wish from your grave. I don't think that's proper sentence structure. Shut up, on guard. Now this brings us into the third thing I wanted to showcase, which is no addition to the battles actually. So this is my own music also, which I'm kind of proud of. But you can see in a second that there's multiple segments to this little thing. And if I keep beating him, we'll see that the sound slightly changes. I think now you'll hear the sound of the next one. Here we go. So what just happened there is that basically the frequency of the song changed, and together with that all the battle segments and pellets and shit. So everything stays in sync. So even though it changes speed in the middle of it, you can still keep on track, on beat, which I think is very cool. Oh shit. Let's see, okay. Damn it. BD's almost dead. Last one. Shit. We win. Now, this is the end of the segment I've created so far, so it doesn't even disappear. It's just right there, and here I can enter the void if I want to. Oh. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I've been managing to make for this half year, which I guess not quite enough, but oh well, it's what it is. And going into this whole thing, right here, there is a trigger which will trigger this little object I've created, which is choreography. And this isn't like a game maker thing. This is basically me making an object and defining all the cutscene stuff happening within it. I'm sure there's a better way you can do this, but this is how I've done it. So basically, it starts the little thing off, and here is all the text box bullshit. And you can see this is portrait of BD, and then he says, "Waha, blocks your path," and then he's saying all this shit. Then underneath that, we have all the quote-unquote triggers that like checks what part of the scene it is, and then like execute some functions like moving the camera or changing the sprite of one of the characters or doing something else. In this little particular scene, I wanted to try making something dramatic, so like you'll see his sprite slowly fading in on the right side of the screen, like very dramatically. I might remove that, but I thought it was funny. And yeah, it's probably not the best system, but it works, and I'm proud that it does. Yeah, just for the sake of it, let's just partially change some stuff in this. Let's say instead of normal saying this, I'll just have Garfield saying this. Oh shit. Garfield bored, which is kind of like his default state. He'll say like, "Oh look, a waste of life." Go in and check that. Oh look, a waste of life. Also, side note, this little sprite in the corner was actually made by Bernie TXT, or to be more exact, he took some base sprites I made earlier and he kind of like prettied them up, just for the fun of it. Let's look at some of the stuff he's done. He's not completely done with all of it, and he's of course busy with his own shit, but I appreciated it, and hopefully I can convince him to help me do some more stuff in the future. So he made he fixed up this one here and this one here, and hopefully I can get him to do the same with a few of the other ones. Just recently, it's like kind of a back and forth, because I took his quote-unquote improved version and I made the first sprite for Normal's portrait, which is kind of nice. Here's Odie's ass. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? You can follow him here on Twitter, or you can see his YouTube channel where he talks about, like, it's basically like Drama Alert, but for intellectuals. Anyway, so, yeah, that's the progress so far. The game, I hope you like it, hope you think it's worth continuing looking on it. I really appreciate you sharing this around, hitting like, hitting that muffin bell button, like, subscribe, all that shit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, bye bye.